What is up, everybody? Okay, so my last video was about my very first LSD experience. Um, it was a bad video. I mean, the storytelling was very poor. My slurred speech was just so bad. I mean, I was drunk off my ass. So, let's get into this one. This one is going to be about my very first experience with diphenhydramine, aka Benadryl. I don't condone the use of any illegal substances or using any OTC meds such as Benadryl or DXM recreationally. It's very bad for you. I haven't touched this stuff in about, almost 2 years now, and I don't plan to ever touch it again. Anyway, let's get right into it. Okay, so I went to New York to visit my grandma with my dad, and it was about 11 o'clock. My dad had just went to bed, and my grandma just went to bed. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do this now. So I went into the kitchen where I had them. I got a whole box. It was a 24 box, so it had two little boxes inside of it with 12 each. And I got one out, and one of those is 300 milligrams. They're 25 each. So I went ahead and deshelled all those. That took about, a good 15, 20 minutes. Popped them all, chased it down with a Coca-Cola, and yeah. So let's get into it. About 30 minutes later, I start feeling the effects. Start feeling kind of weird, though. Stand up, I feel a little bit heavier than usual. I didn't really notice any visual changes or anything like that. Nothing too weird yet. And then about 12:30 or so, I started noticing, like, visuals. Like, there was fog or mist in the air. It was really kind of weird. It was like you could kind of see the air. And it was whack. But anyways, I started hearing stuff. I started hearing people talk to each other, people having conversations. I started hearing really weird noises. And for example, like, this is weird, but I literally heard like a boing, yoing, 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 yoing. That really tripped me out. But anyways, I started getting a little kind of freaked out, like, real uncomfortable, real uneasy trip. So I decided to call up my buddy and tell him what was going on, just to have someone to talk to while I was experiencing this, make it a little bit easier. But he stayed on the phone with me for about 15, 20 minutes, but he had to go to bed because he had to work the next day. So I was kind of fucked at this point. It was all me. Anyways, so about 1 o'clock or so, that's when I started seeing some really weird shit. My grandma, she had a clock on her wall, and it had a little swinging pendulum, whatever the fuck, I don't know, man. But within that, like, the mist that was in the air kind of all formed together in that one little area, and it made a bird, and that bird literally just flew out of there and kind of disappeared in the air. And I thought that was actually kind of cool, but the ones after that I wasn't too crazy about. For example, I was looking in the kitchen, which was to my right, and it was very dark in there. And all I seen was, the air, the mist or whatever, forming into different kinds of shapes and creatures and stuff, and I could hear them. Like, I saw it formed a dog, and I heard this dog, like, kind of barking at me, and that's where it started getting a little scary. So I got kind of freaked out about that. I just decided not to look over there anymore, and yeah, it really freaked me out. But started seeing some weird shit, bunch of animals, and I just kept hearing people talk to each other. And so I decided to put in Project X, which I had gotten from the Red Box. This would be my first time watching it. And so I started watching that, but man, it was just so hard. I don't remember the movie. I had to watch it again, of course, sober, to actually, get it. But anyway, so I started seeing all this weird shit going on. So I decided to lay down on the couch because I just wanted to go to sleep, man. I wanted this to be over, but I wasn't tired. Like, I could not sleep for the life of me. So I lay down on the couch and I start seeing these bugs crawl all over me. Like, I see spiders just on me everywhere, and I start feeling them. So I start whacking at my legs and shit, and I'm getting a little freaked out. And then I'm convinced that there are actually, like, bugs within this couch, like, everywhere. So I start taking my phone out, I start taking pictures of what I think is a bug, and I look at the picture on the phone, and there was actually something there, but I don't think it was a bug. It was just like a piece of, lint or something, I don't know. But I decided to go into a different room, the computer room, the office, and I just slept on the floor. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna sleep on the floor. And I laid down there on the floor and couple hallucinations. My dad walked in. He told me, "Get up, come here, come see this." And I got up and I followed him. Or no, I didn't at first because I figured it might be a hallucination. But then my cousin walks in there, and she wasn't even there. My cousin walks in there and she looks at me. She goes, "You better go with him, or I'm gonna pick you up." And it didn't really freak me out. It was just like, okay, like this was normal. Okay, so I got up. I go out there, and it's starting to get a little sunny outside. So I mean, within all that time that had went by, and this was probably about 5:30, 6 in the morning. It actually started getting a little bright. And it was bright enough to where I could actually go outside and smoke a cigarette, which is what I've been wanting to do all night. But I was not about to go out. I was not about to go out in the dark because I was too scared. All that time that had passed by, though, nothing really happened other than me just seeing spiders everywhere in different areas of the room and different manifestations just forming and disappearing in thin air, and people voices talking to each other. But so I followed him out there. He went outside. I followed him outside, and he disappeared. And then he went around the corner. He looked at me. He goes, "Come on." And then at that point, I knew it was a hallucination. I was smoking a cigarette. I was like, "Nah, I'm good." And there was this pole there. It was a stop sign pole, and it started talking to me. It was like, "Hey, come on, man, come over here." I was like, "Nah, I can't, man. I can't come over there, man." Nah, because there was in the distance at another house, there was a guy outside smoking a cigarette as well. So I was like, "Nah, man, I can't go over there. I can't do that." And it's like, "Come on, come on." Like, I can't do it. And so it stopped talking to me. And I went to go back inside, but before I did, I looked in the glass on the door, and I seen a reflection, but I seen it on the inside of the house. It was a man. It was like this old man just sitting there in a rocking chair, just staring at me, ugly ass face, like creepy ass face, just staring at me. And I just kind of like opened the door and went in, knowing it was a hallucination, and went back into that room, just laid down some more, and just kept talking to a bunch of people. Started seeing more spiders, more bugs, stuff like that. You actually feel this stuff. You feel spiders. I mean, it's just really fucking weird, man. But I actually don't regret that night. I do regret getting into Benadryl after that, because I was like, man, I gotta start doing this more. And I did a lot more of it, and I haven't touched this stuff for almost 2 years, so I'm not ever gonna mess with this stuff again. But I don't regret that, because it was actually, it was something I could say. Well, not that I'm proud to say it, but it's something I know that I experienced, and it was not completely scary. It was a freaky ass trip, but it was weird as fuck. But it wasn't frightening. Like, it was definitely something I was willing to do again, apparently. So could have been too bad. So yeah, I mean, don't do Benadryl, man. I'm telling you, Benadryl and what's that other one? Has diphenhydramine, something like that. It's the one for motion sickness. Shit, I forget what it's called. If you know, comment below. Dramamine is what it's called. Don't do that. It's all just stupid shit. It does the same thing as Benadryl, and I do not recommend it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, guys, this is gonna be the short one. 8 minutes. Not really that short, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and let this video go. And from now on, I guess my videos are gonna be mainly just my first time experiences with all these different kinds of drugs I've done, and then it's gonna get into the certain experiences that I remember the most, that I feel like were the most memorable to me, I guess. I'm not sure. Like, it'll be cool, I guess. So if you like it, subscribe. I will have more coming out. The last one was actually a while back, and I just decided, what, I'm going to go ahead and continue on with this. But I will get better with my storytelling, as time goes by. But as far as me using goes, I haven't used anything. I don't even smoke weed anymore. I quit everything in November of 2015, last year. So I haven't touched a thing. I would love to smoke weed, but I can't right now. But anyway, guys, making this too long. So thank you for watching. If you watched through the whole thing, appreciate it. And leave a like, comment, whatever. Subscribe, and I'll have more. Deuces.